You read that it fell. Ignore my glitter packaging. I come packing crafting.
Hello, and thank you so much for joining me here on SewStitchHex. I'm Macadamia, and today I'm going to be doing a review of A Sign of Affection. Okay, so this is absolutely adorable. It popped up on my recommended on Amazon, and I immediately hopped on it because it was like a sign of affection. What's this? And I have another book by the same suu Morishita. Super cute. It's about sign language, and it's so cute. It's so cute. Some of the scenes which they talk about in here, they had to change groups because of production issues, because they were publishing it in a dessert magazine and a couple other things. So there are some issues with new people and translating signs in the comic strips. And so, like, there's that. But it's really cute. Some of the signs come out really funny because it'll be just like one word and that's okay, but then they'll also have someone having an argument, so there'll be like six, or not an argument, but they'll get very excited and very heated, and so they'll be talking very fast and there'll be a lot of signs, so they'll just have like six arms just blurred together, especially with this guy that knows how to sign. That's her friend that knows sign language. Because there seems to be him that knows sign language and our main deaf girl who has a hearing aid because she can't hear, but she does have the ability to hear, like, it's almost like all noise is on one level of ambient noise, kind of. It's not like she can distinguish sounds, and it's not like she's ever heard, like, konnichiwa, because she would speak Japanese. That's what she's doing, is sign language for Japanese, which is cool. I thought we just had... I don't know why I would have thought, I don't know why I thought this, but that there was just American Sign Language and then like Universal Sign Language. I don't know why I didn't connect that there would be like Japanese Sign Language and maybe, you know, other kinds like that. I thought just, oh, it's America, so they're always doing something different. That's why we don't do the metric system. That's what I thought. I really didn't know. But that makes complete sense because it's not like a Roman character. So, of course, there's going to be different, you know, letters, and that makes so much sense. But so she meets this guy with silver hair, so very different, right? And he can speak Japanese, German, a little Chinese, and a little Spanish, which I thought was really cool. Every time someone's Japanese and speaks a little German, I'm always worried they're going to also say a little Italian, and then my brain's going to be like, but that didn't happen. And it also, okay, really quick before I forget, there's two books that I'm totally going to start reading, and I'll do a review once I read them. There's Something's Wrong With Us. It's about someone who's like, it's a dark, psychological, sexy shoujo series about a Japanese sweets maker framed, and a man who framed her mother for murder. Sounds really good. And then there was another one recommended at the back that was like A Perfect World. I'll find it. It looked, yeah, Perfect World, which is another one about disabilities. And I love finding the books about characters with disabilities because, one, if you support them now, that means you're going to have more variety later on. And I do like having a variety of characters because I like people to feel real. And two, I usually end up being in a group with the people that are a bit different, including people with disabilities, so it feels more normal for me. I don't know if that makes sense, because I'm not with the completely normally abled crowd. So seeing people that look more like people that I would spend time with and would be hanging out with and would understand more, I enjoy that, if that makes sense. I also enjoy seeing the variety of people in a manga, since normally it's all able-bodied people with perfect bodies and perfect abilities or beyond capable abilities, like superheroes and stuff. And I really like seeing people that are going about their life in the way that's normal for them, but that's different for me. And I really enjoy that. And I want to support them so that we see more things like that, because I want to see more representation of different types of people. And when I saw this one, I thought that would be the cutest because I've wanted to learn sign language. I only know a couple little things. I don't know enough to have a conversation. Even as I'm learning Japanese, I'm learning that conversation words, or conversation, like sentence structure is really, really hard for me. It was the same in Spanish. Sentence structure is hard. Vocabulary, easy. Words, easy. But everything else is a bit difficult. And, like, I'm learning more and more. I'm trying. And, like, I try to immerse myself in different environments where I can learn it. And seeing a character using sign language makes me even happier because I'm trying to learn it, because I do prefer to go non-vocal 90% of the time, because I don't like talking. I get tired of everyone being like, oh my god, you're so adorable. Like, I'm almost 30. Please stop. I know I'm cute, but if you're commenting on my voice that hasn't changed since I was like 3, can we not? Like, that'd be great. Well, I really like to go nonverbal, plus I currently work in a very loud environment, so my voice doesn't project very well, and no one can hear me, so I like to be able to just like the, little things I can just do and be like, hey, and I'll teach someone like, hey, this means this, this, and this. This is the 3 words you need to know. And then like bathroom or water, and getting people's attention so that I can speak to them without having to speak to them, because I really don't want to. And I don't know if that sounds bad. I don't know if that's how someone takes that, but I prefer to go nonverbal, especially because I'm not good at communicating, and I get really, really anxious, and having a way to speak without having to force words out of my mouth and then breaking down and crying later is a lot easier. So finding this and seeing a love story take place where there is this huge communication barrier of kind of being able to read lips versus learning sign language because you're learning to be a part of someone else's world, I thought was absolutely beautiful. And I know that's like a really long time just to say why I picked this, but it looked awesome, and there was just so much more. It's so much more meaningful to me than just to say like, oh, it was recommended. Because it is just seeing that, because I do see all my recommended and I check like, what is this about? This bought immediately. I didn't even add to cart. I just buy now. It was had to have, and I've already gotten book 2 home. I'm going to be reading it soon, and I've pre-ordered, or not pre-ordered. I've ordered 3, and I think I've ordered 4, and I just gotta wait for them to arrive, because I know I'm gonna read 2 like the second I get a minute. Yeah. So this one, back to our description. Our deaf girl falls in love with this very multilingual man. They're both in college, and she's had the same group of friends before, so she's not really experienced when it comes to groups of people, especially because there is that barrier of people not completely understanding. And he doesn't learn sign language, so when he approaches her and is like, can you teach me? And she thinks he's really cute. And this whole thing of going between, is it affection, is it love, and her learning what this emotion is. I really like this because it's a chance for her to grow in her emotions and discover what does love mean to her. Because we're starting off with a crush, but he is very worldly, he's very mature. He travels like every week. He's like, hey, I'm here, hey, I'm here, because he's in the international club. And every time you turn around, he's visiting somewhere new. I will say the art is absolutely adorable. You see, this is like the everyday pages. And this is how they draw the Japanese characters, which is relevant because you see them drawing the people, you see them drawing the Americans, or I'm not sure if they're Americans or Germans, but they're, you see the Americans or Germans right here. And then you see in just a few pages a completely different type of people. And I just found it, like, it's pretty cool because there's just such a variety of images. Like, normally you wouldn't really see, like, you would either see the same type of character for all the different places, or you would see like a caricature of who they're supposed to be in a way that's like, that might be racist. And you're just like, but in this case, it's just, they're very real people. Like, the only people that aren't very real are the very clearly anime style of the Japanese people, which I think is pretty cool. Just that, like, everyone else is very real. Like, they feel tangible. And then our main characters are just kind of their typical cartoony and I really like them. Like, they came out so cute. The quality of this is just, it brings me back to like Bride of the Water God, or maybe even to Blackbird, if anyone remembers that. I totally need to do a book by book review of that, because I was following that back when I was a chap. And this is just super cute. It goes back and forth between lots of nonverbal communication and then, of course, the actions, because just like with any language, the way you respond and your facial expressions and the way you animate can really affect the tone and attitude of your interpretation. Just like in here, even our girl was thinking on multiple occasions, like, his fingers are very crisp, or his fingers just feel like this way. And she talks about the way that they're signing and how it feels different. Like, each of them have their own different way of signing. And I know one of the girls that I follow on YouTube, she talks about how everyone signs things a little different because it's very interpretive. And so, like, yes, there is a verbatim, but there's also a way that you feel and the way you move. And I like seeing that translated here into the manga, because I know that they did a lot of research for to make sure that they were accurately portraying them, and I thought that was beautiful. I also thought the collection of the ways they respond, because they respond with like nonverbal, like facial expressions, and like they're giving a look, and it's almost like that joking like nod to mean something, and like wink, and like they're having a full conversation with just like expressions. But then they're also having like, she's watching them speak and then texting back and forth, so you have a conversation going on non-verbally through text and through chat, but without being vocal. And I really like the way that they don't make it seem like she's being a burden for being non-vocal, and the way that they're also accepting, and the way that they're all learning and adapting, and how every moment is kind of something new. I like that no one is making this hard on her. This isn't like trying to watch or read Kimi ni Todoke, where miscommunication abound. Nobody seems to know what the other one is saying, and though they're all speaking Japanese, they might as well be speaking different languages, because no one is actually listening to what the other person is saying verbatim. They are filling in the blanks and making assumptions. Here, everyone is very clear. They are communicating very well. Everyone is trying to hear the other person out, and they are doing everything in their power to hear the other individual out, which is, yes, Kimi ni Todoke, of course, being in high school, so they are less mature. These are just in like the first year of college, so it's not like they're that far off. It's just like, what, 2 years after the start of Kimi ni Todoke, 1 year after the end. Like, it's not really like they're far ahead, right? So, and like, I know this is a different story altogether. It's just a comparison. I really enjoy just how clearly they communicate with each other. And like this guy being one of her friends, him being so worried about her being out. It's before curfew, her curfew being 10 p.m. Her time leaving was like 8:30, and she's like, I have an hour and a half left. Like, I got to go. And like, they're having an argument in sign language, and it's like hands are flying, fingers are flopping, snapping, whatever you want to call it. They are going. And it's just really great because there's like genuine concern, and like it's refreshing because they're not like yelling or trying to control them in a way that would be against things that they understand. Like, they're not trying to fight the disability. They're working with their disability, and they're working with them in a way that it feels like everyone's on the same playing field. And the fact that there's just so much communication for someone that can't even hear, and everyone is on the same page, is just phenomenal. Like, it just makes me love this even more, because I struggle with communication, but their level of communication is something to be envied. And everyone in here, even not speaking the same languages, not understanding the same languages, not even being on the same page, does not keep them from being 100% clear with each other. And while it is a little nerve-wracking seeing her flirting with this guy because he wants to be like in part of her world. Like he wants to get to know her world. Like he's seen all of the world, and we're just like, our girl's gonna fall hard for this one. And it makes you a little bit nervous. But like on the other hand, you're really excited to see her experiencing something new. And it's not like he's pushing her in a way that's uncomfortable. It is implied by that guy that's super overprotective that speaks sign language that he is worried that this guy is like a playboy that might be taking advantage of her, but we don't see him taking advantage of her. We see him trying to understand her and understand sign language to better communicate with her. And we see him teaching her not just, about the world by telling her about his travels a little bit, but trying to teach her about love, which is a new language she hasn't learned yet in its own way. So it's really cute, and it's really good. It hasn't gotten to a point. It's just volume 1. So it hasn't gotten to a point that's going to stress me out yet. I'm sure there's going to be a point when she is separated from everyone and she can't communicate with anyone else and nobody seems to understand what she's doing. And she's going to be scared. She's going to be freaking out. She's going to be alone. And she's going to be like, please, somebody help me. And someone's going to run up and save her. And it may not even be the person she asked. Like, I'm sure that's going to happen because that seems like something that would happen in this kind of manga. But for right now, everyone is safe. It's clear communication, clear understanding, and it's just so refreshing. And it's so wonderful, especially under these circumstances when I would be worried about someone in a new environment, surrounded by people who aren't going to understand what you're going through. And it's just so awesome. I love this so much. And their relationship is so cute as it's starting. Like, it's not in a weird way yet. Like, he's just being cute with her, asking her to show what, like, the words cute mean and teaching her new things. And them getting up all close and personal and causing all those butterflies, but nothing really happens, and he's mostly just playing with her. And like, it's cute. It's not stressful. It's an actual, like, comforting relationship where I'm not currently worried about what the other one is doing to her or what she's doing to them or if someone's in danger. And so it's just very, I don't know, slice of life, very relaxing, not something that I have any stresses over, and I highly recommend it. So if you haven't read A Sign of Affection, I highly recommend. If you have, please let me know what you loved about it, because it is impossible to think that you might not love this book, because it is absolutely wonderful. Like, 10 of 10. Love it. The original Japanese was 2019 and the English translation was 2021. I couldn't imagine someone not loving this book. So if you don't, you are truly, like, blown my mind, because I couldn't imagine. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you want to read it, I'm going to leave a link down below. And if you want to tune in, I'm definitely going to be doing volume 2. Not too long from now, I'm sure. And so I hope you enjoy it as much as I have, and I will see you here next time on SewStitchHex. Bye!